Alright, so here's our second part. Let's actually look at the mean value theorem for integrals. This theorem states that if f is continuous on a closed interval a to b, then there is at least one point c, and that c is right here, in the interval where f attains its average value. So what it's saying is, if you have this curve, right, this function here, and then if you find its average value, right, you flatten it, and then you find the average value, right there, which is the average value. You're going to find that at one point in this interval from a to b, there will be some c value, some x equals c value, where it touches, or it essentially gives you that average value. Okay, so that's what it means. There has to be at least one time this happens. Okay, so let's try to apply this. So example 2 says find the average, or find the values of c on the closed interval 1 to 4 that satisfies the mean value theorem for integrals for f of x equals 3x squared minus 2x. So what this basically is saying is that there is going to be some c value that will give us the average, and we need to figure out what that c value is, because that's what we're looking for. Find that value of c. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is let's find the average. Okay, so the average is going to equal 1 over b minus a, integral a to b of the function dx, which is equal to 1 over 4 minus 1, 1 to 4, 3x squared minus 2x, or minus x, minus 2x dx. Okay, let's take the antiderivative of this, 1/3, and we got 3x squared turns into x cubed minus x squared, going from 1 to 4. So this equals 1/3, 4 cubed minus 4 squared, minus 1 cubed minus 1 squared, which is equal to 1/3 times 4 cubed is what, 64, minus 16, minus 1 cubed minus 1 is just 0. This is going to be 1/3. 64 minus 16 is 48, and 1/3 of 48 is 16. Okay, so let's kind of just sketch a picture. I don't know what 3x squared minus 2x exactly looks like, but let's take a wild guess that it looks something like this. Okay, and from 1 to 4, we found that the average value is right there. Okay, so we found the average value happens to equal 16. So that what the mean value theorem states is that, okay, there is some c value that essentially gives us the average value. So what this basically means is there is some function where if you plug in c, you're going to get the average. So why don't we do that? What is f of c? It's just 3c squared minus 2c, right? Because if the function is 3x squared minus 2x, there must be some c value that will give us the average, which we found was 16. And then you just got a very simple equation to solve. And so there's a couple ways to do this. We can use the quadratic formula, or we can factor, I believe. So 3 squared minus 2c minus 16 is equal to 0. Alright, basically, so when you factor this, this turns into 3c minus 8 and c plus 2. We can work on the factoring another time. And so when we solve it, we get c is equal to 8/3 and negative 2. Okay, so there's one problem here. Because the mean value theorem states that there must be at least one point C, we found 2, in the interval, okay? What was the interval? The interval is 1 to 4. So we found C, that's 8/3 and negative 2, but only C equals 8/3 is in the interval and negative 2 is not. Okay, so the correct answer is 8/3 only. Okay, and the reason is negative 2 is not on 1 to 4. That's the reason. Okay. Okay, so why don't you practice 3 on your own, and the solutions are on the canvas. So I want you to try this on your own and then check your work on Canvas.